very sweet. We're very lucky to have, thank you for being here and staying. It's very, very, very kind. I'm Bo, I'm the writer director. We have someone very special here, the living legend himself. He plays Gabe, Jake Ryan. And the whole reason I'm here, the coolest girl in the world, Elsie Fisher. So this is sort of unstructured. We'll just take questions. How you feeling today, Jake?
I'm feeling pretty well, man. How about you?
Feeling good. How about you, Elsie?
I'm cool.
Cool. Any questions? We'll just sort of take them. We got like 15 or so minutes. Yeah.
How much did you pull from your own experience of middle school, and how much was his direction? What was the collaboration there?
He asked how much you pulled from your own experience and how much was mine. I don't know if people in the back can hear. I have to do this thing or whatever.
Yeah, most of it is kind of pulled from my own experience. I just tried to empathize with Kayla, and just be honest about what we were doing. But that was most of the movie, was just collaborating between us and making an honest environment for me to be honest about being Kayla, I guess. Yeah.
You do a lot of handstands?
Not recently, but I should.
Yes.
Were there any scenes that were written or shot that didn't make it in the film that you're upset about?
Yeah, there are a few. She was asking if there are any deleted scenes. Definitely not upset about we just cut them to serve the cut, and I wanted a tight, 90-minute sort of movie. There is an 8-minute magic scene he does after the dinner scene. It will be in the deleted scenes, but the movie absolutely could not hold it. But it was an 8-minute linking rings routine that was brutal.
Yeah, it was.
You practiced those linking rings for a while, right, bud?
Like a month, yeah. Over.
Anyway, in the back, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're in the back, there, yeah.
Okay, so this is specifically for you. So Make Happy and this are both movies about performance and technology and our relationship to social media. But I think the big difference with this film, other than it being about an 8th grader, is that you explicitly show Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and Tumblr in this film.
Yeah, it's rude to have your phone on stage.
How do you think that's gonna date this going forward? Because the really tough part with talking about the internet and social media is that it changes so quickly that when you start a movie, a joke in there could be relevant, and then when it's over, it's
totally.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't scared of that. There are a lot of people that are sort of phobic of technology for that purpose. I watch Barry Lyndon, and I'm not like, what is he writing on? You know what I mean? No, but really, no, I'm not being silly. It's just for me, if in 10 years, if you don't know what Snapchat is, I think you'll know what she's doing and what it means to her. And we just try to approach it emotionally much more than specifically, but we just try to capture that moment in time, and the cultural references and the jokes aren't, I don't think you need to get them in order for it to register. I would have the kids be in the auditorium and I'd be shout something out, and they'd be like, LeBron James, I'd be like, what? It wasn't even about really getting it, but yeah, we wanted to have the movie be like a time capsule that captured a certain moment, and hopefully it'll be meaningful in the future. But yeah, this is what this moment feels like to us, so that's what we sort of went for. Yes.
Why isn't this movie PG-13?
Why isn't it PG-13? She asked. I don't know. I mean, well, I think it's probably some language. That's what? The banana. Yes, no fruit in any. But I mean, really, we could have cut some stuff to make it PG-13. I didn't feel like it was my responsibility to portray a reality that I felt was appropriate for kids. I wish their lives were PG-13. That would be wonderful, but it just isn't. So I promise we are exposing kids to absolutely nothing they aren't already aware of. But then I thought, if this is R and this makes parents bring their kids, that could be a nice thing. Are there any 8th graders here with their parents? Anyone? Yeah, or younger? What are you?
I'm
going into freshman year.
Oh yeah, man, that's it, dude. Congrats, bro. You too? Hell yeah, good luck with it, guys. Condolences. Any other questions? Yes.
Is that me?
Yeah.
I'm curious why you wanted to write it from a female point of view instead of a young teenage boy as you once were.
Yes. Just asking why a girl? Yeah, it wasn't really a choice. It just really felt right. I mean, there's two answers. One is that I didn't want to make a nostalgic story. I didn't want it to be my own experience. I like nostalgic stories, but I wanted this to feel visceral because my disconnect from her is twofold. You know, I was never a 13-year-old girl, and I was never a 13-year-old now, and both of those things lend themselves to a specific experience. So, and also, to prepare for this movie, I watched hundreds of videos of kids online talking about themselves. The boys tended to talk about Fortnite, and the girls tended to talk about their souls. So I was like, well, I think the girl movie is slightly more interesting at this age.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, we got there's some sensitive. You're a sensitive deep boy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes. Yes.
I guess I have a 13-year-old at home who's in 8th grade, and as I was listening to you talk, the tutorials or talking about your feelings, it is hard to hear us laugh at you. I mean, I would think that 13 would be hard to hear that.
Is it hard to hear us laugh at you? You're saying from the videos,
No, I'm used to it. No, but I mean, honestly, you laugh at whatever. It's not me, it's Kayla.
And then the thing is, like, the monologues are written. They are written like, yeah, so the thing about being yourself is, wait, I'm reading this off a piece of paper. I didn't make Homeward Bound. You know what I mean? I really didn't. It wasn't just like, do your thing and I'll capture you. Both of them give reliable technical performances. I can show you 7 takes where they're stumbling in the exact same place every time. Kids that age are much more self-aware than I think you give them credit for, but both of these kids are extraordinary, and like, they're getting the laughs. They know what they're doing. I mean, so it's true. I appreciate the sensitivity. How do you feel? What do you feel when people are laughing at you?
It's a little overwhelming sometimes. Like right now. But yeah, it makes me feel good inside, you know. Thank you.
Yeah.
A really big theme in your comedy, at least from your stage persona, is that comedy was in some ways unfulfilling, and being a comedian didn't always do the trick for you. You felt like it was in some ways useless. Did making this do the trick?
Did it do the trick? I don't know, what does that mean? No, I did stand for a long time, and I was just very tired of my own face and my own voice, and was sort of wanted to express myself with other people and collaborate. And really what happened is, I was on stage talking about my problems and my anxiety, thinking that it was very particular to my circumstance, being, a 24-year-old male comedian at the time. And then I would have 14-year-old girls come up to me and say, I feel exactly like you do, which was crazy. So, no, but it's true. And so if there was a bridge I had to walk to write this movie, it was built by them to me first. I felt understood by kids like Kayla before I presumed to understand someone like Kayla. But yeah, it's very, very freeing. If you want to talk about anxiety, it turns out like doing a one-man show in your own head isn't as wonderful as looking to someone else and speaking it together. And that's really what it was. We all made this together, and that was. Well, how do you think it helped with your anxiety, or did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it made me think about it more, and I think that's good, and talk about it, and I got to talk about it with Bo, and not just, like, my dad. No, I mean, truly, like, because that's something I was, like, frightened to share with my friends, because I'm like, oh, this isn't a thing, this is just me being a weird person. Yeah, but now I get to share it with Bo and everyone.
Yeah, I want to try to, way back left, yeah.
Was there more about the mom in the movie, or it was just that one little tiny thing where you find out she leaves very early in the relationship? And I'm just curious if there was more to the story than that.
There wasn't more explicitly than that. Part of it was just trying to, and it's sort of the whole movie being like, this is only 5 days in her life, and your life isn't stated out loud every 5 days, but sometimes movies do that, you know what I mean, where it feels like everything needs to be stated totally. So, yeah, that's sort of what there wasn't much more than that. I think I probably wrote a single dad because I feel like both of them. I feel like a scared kid on the internet, and I feel like an idiot, out-of-touch dude with no one to turn to that doesn't actually know what she's going through. So, but yeah, so it was always pretty limited. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, right here, yeah.
I know this isn't about
your experience, but is there anything from your 8th grade experience that you put into the movie?
Yeah, I mean, just talking about my 8th grade experience, yeah, it's much more like, it's much more personally, it's much more emotionally personal than it is literally personal. You know, like I was having panic attacks backstage instead of in a bathroom before a pool party, you know, but they felt like the same thing. But I also was a 13-year-old that wasn't psyched about pool parties and didn't have hair under my arms, so I would hold my arms like this because I was scared because I hadn't hit puberty yet. And all the boys with hair under their arms probably felt equally shitty about themselves. But yeah, I don't know, there's probably some. I did some handstands. I did magic too. I was a big magic head.
Oh, really? What type of magic did you do?
Svengali decks, you know that? Did you get into that stuff?
No, I did not. I was mostly with the rings.
Yeah, the rings. We knew about the rings. Yeah, the rings were a heavy part of it. Yes, right up there. Yeah.
As someone of this.
Yeah, that's the indication, yeah.
As
lovely
someone
bun.
thank you. As someone who also grew up like in a time of social media, albeit very different than this one, what made you choose to set it now as opposed to when you were in 8th grade?
Just because I wanted to talk about now, I mean, I really set out to talk about what now felt like, and I looked around the culture, and I felt like, I don't know, the culture was sort of operating at an 8th grade level a little bit, and maybe the country was, and that it was probably a good way to, yeah, so that was, the first impulse was to talk about now, and then I stumbled on 8th graders sort of second. One more? Who's got a question for the kids? Yeah. Yeah.
Were there any things that were in the movie that made it into the movie that were perhaps like improvised or something that caught you along the way that maybe ended up in the movie?
There was the Rick and Morty scene.
He was asking if there were any improvised scenes. Yeah.
She's learning.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Rick and Morty thing was when I tested him to play the part. He walked in and I had them improvise together, and he was like, "Do you like tacos?" And she was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Hard shell or soft?" And I go, "You have the part." It's all good. You're good. Well, thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate the time. I hope you have it. And we'll see you guys later. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you.